fact, I want to remind our audience that you were one of the first people in America who said that Donald Trump was, in fact, spied on. You were vilified for that. You were bludgeoned publicly for that. And you turned out to be absolutely correct. What I do think confuses some people is the role of the British intelligence services in the spying. So, first, review what it was you said originally, in which you have been completely vindicated. And then, secondarily, your assessment of what Mr. Durham has done so far.
Friends of mine in the intelligence community tipped me off to the use by the American CIA hierarchy, John Brennan and the folks around him, of the GCHQ, that's the British Intelligence Service, to spy on then candidate Trump. When I verified this twice, so I have it from three sources, my source and two others, I went public with it on Fox, that they had been surveilling his communications in Trump Tower going back to July of 2015, which is about a month after he announced his candidacy. The 10 Downing Street went crazy. The British Embassy in Washington, D.C. went crazy. My bosses at Fox responded to that. I was off air for about 10 days. About a month later, oh, by the way, I must say Rupert Murdoch himself supported what I said. About a month later, the Guardian of London reported that 4 GCHQ agents came out of the cold and said that judge in New York that's getting the you-know-what beat out of him, he's correct. We saw this being done. So, yes, I was vindicated. The president was gratified. We don't know if it had stopped by then. We don't know the nature and extent that was going on. I was reporting on something that was happening as I was reporting it, which is unusual for somebody in the media. John Durham was appointed courageously by the last attorney general that Donald Trump had. It was confirmed by the Senate, Bill Barr. And John Durham's job is to investigate the investigators. What did the CIA know? Who did they communicate with? What did the FBI know, and when did they know it? And how did the misery visited upon President Trump in the first 2.5 years of his presidency start? How did it come about? So John Durham has indicted 2 people. One has already pleaded guilty, a low-level lawyer for the FBI who pleaded guilty to falsifying documents that were presented to the FISA court, another unconstitutional monstrosity. But the FISA court issues surveillance warrants on the basis of what the intelligence community gives to it. He pleaded guilty, Kevin Kleinsmith, to forging documents. The FISA court did not know they were forged and responded and granted the search warrants. The search warrants were for people around President Trump. But the more, excuse me, Roger, the more important indictment is of Michael Sussman. Now, the American public might not know who he is, but Michael Sussman was a lawyer for the Democratic National Committee and a lawyer for Mrs. Clinton in 2016 for her campaign. Michael Sussman, John Durham alleges, and he has tremendous evidence, the allegation, including emails and texts sent by John Durham. It's the general counsel of the FBI pretending to be a neutral, unbiased American citizen concerned about the national security of the republic, and gave a pile of nonsense to the general counsel, Jim Baker, not the same Jim Baker of the Bush years, but the same name, a different person, and told Jim Baker that he was an unbiased, uninterested, disinterested outsider. Turns out, of course, that what he had given was concocted and made up by people in Mrs. Clinton's employ, and he was Mrs. Clinton's lawyer. So what crime was committed? He lied to the FBI. Look, I have a problem with that statute, Roger. As you know, the FBI can lie to us, but if we lie to them, it's a crime. I have a real problem with the statute, but it is the law. And the evidence of Michael Sussman's lies is substantial and corroborated. However, it is only the tip of the iceberg because it demonstrates the large number of people in the government who were aware that the information on which the FBI was relying to generate the Mueller investigation was false, phony, and concocted by Mrs. Clinton's hacks. Did the CIA reveal this? No. The CIA hates the FBI and is happy to see the FBI fall on its face. Unfortunately, an innocent and decent human being, Donald Trump, suffered egregiously because of this. The CIA should have revealed what it knew. People in the FBI who were dealing with phony documents should have been exposed, and there should have been an investigation right then and there. But it will come in time, thanks to Durham.